Sorry for the late feedback. I wanted to give everyone a chance to weigh in, and not many people did. You definitely did show up with the critique sandwiches, and I really appreciate it. And you were really um, offering people some really beautiful feedback. So I think that's really valuable. Hopefully, you found it valuable as well. And I hear you about creating wearables and wanting to move onto objects or sculpture. I think that's a great idea. I would love to see you photograph this in better light because I can tell how dark the photo is, and we can't, like, all this detail in here is just completely washed out. And it makes it really hard to see kind of what's actually going on. Um, and I would love to see you correct that. My dog is wanting to play, so sorry if he starts barking in a second. I think you did a really good job getting the form on this piece. And I love the patina on the inside, and the color on the outside too is lovely. I think the patina on the smaller piece looks like it's washing the form out. So you might play with taking that off and putting it back on, or trying some other ways of experimenting with patina. Sometimes patina is really tricky on things like this, but ideally we want some area of metal that we can see. Maybe you try to take a burnisher and peel back the line, like the outer edge of the spiral, so that there's some like lines that stand out of that, because it's so cool and we can't really see what's going on with it. I think this wire could be a lot thinner for the scale of it. And this is like, I'll show you in a second how to maybe brighten this up in sorry, I hope you didn't just see my text pop up. I'll show you in Lightroom how to make that brighter, but really you should just take it in better lighting. It's a very cool form. It's so beautiful. Charles Luton Brain has a competition every year for fold forming, and you should take a kick-in photograph of this and enter it, because I think that you would have a chance of winning something. It's really, really beautiful. I would take a burnisher and go along the very edge of both sides and high polish the very edge. It's gorgeous. And I would also take a photograph of this with you wearing like a black shirt or a white shirt. I think the spring wire are working really well, but we really need a photograph with these little parts in focus with this part, and we need it with a plain background. So I'm hoping for both of those things, because even just like the cable of your sweater and the background of the house, and that this is in focus, but this really isn't, and this definitely isn't, is all super distracting. I want like an amazing photograph. Sorry to be picky, but I think you did an amazing job on this. And then let me show you, just while I have you here, let me see if I can download this. I don't know if it will let me. Oh yeah, so it saved the download. Okay, you have access to Adobe Lightroom via your Academy account. So if you don't have that already, you can download it. Let me know if you need support in figuring out how to do that. Lightroom is a fast way to organize and edit raw photos. Oh, here we have Yvette, so it's showing her something too. Okay, but I can drag your photo, just drop it onto the application. It's going to pull it up into this import zone. If I uncheck it, I can't import it. So I want to make sure the box is checked, and I'm going to add one photo. Okay, and right here I can see my color temperature is really off because the background is blue and it probably should be white, and really the photo is just too dark. So you can mess with exposure a tiny bit, but Don't mess with it too much because then you lose information in the material, but I can bump up exposure a tiny bit. Don't mess with contrast. It really loses a lot of information, as do highlights and shadows. But you can, sometimes highlights will help skin, but I wouldn't mess with those too much. You can turn up the whites a little bit if you don't have a lot of bright spots on silver. Okay, so that's improved it a little bit. This is the point curve. This will tell you, oh, there's a lot of white information, a little bit of midtones, not a lot of low midtones or black tones. So if you don't have any information over here, you can just pull this over. You do have a little, so I'm not going to move it. And then here's our color temperature. Down here, right now, it's really blue, so I can pull it up to yellow a little bit. I don't want to overdo it because your piece is blue. So you could also like play with taking down the saturation and taking up the vibrance. We could also try to go into, sorry, there's something else I would do here if we were in Photoshop, but we're not, so I really would want to mess with the grays. Which I normally do in Photoshop. So this may be the best that we can get in here. And I'm looking to like kind of level out the background, the blue in the background. I can go back up. Okay, so I think that's improved it a little bit. Still not perfect, but, and then when you're done, well, you can crop things. And I might have this picture so that you can see the whole hand too, because it's kind of awkward with just part of it. Then you would go up to File, Export, and you would tell it, you know, if you want a high quality TIFF or a JPEG, make sure you're saving at least one super high quality. The bracelet, tell it where you want to save, and then export it. Hope that was helpful. Okay.